that there's nothing wrong with the child. It's actually this brother is like ignorant and uninformed, because sometimes these are actually, you know, these aren't 20-year-old brothers, right? They're 40-year-old brothers, 50-year-old brothers, 60-year-old brothers, people who are respected within the community, but they're just ignorant. And it's really, it's unfortunate. So I'll tell you, the brothers have a lot of work to do in that regard.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just even talking about the siblings and the peers, the same age. It's important to talk to the siblings, let them understand that, you know, this is how he is. It's nothing intentional. He's not trying to mess up the family's plans. But as a family collectively, we need to help him overcome that. Sometimes we need to avoid intimidation. We need to avoid frustrations. And it's difficult. I know some boys, they have other siblings who are also boys, and like everyone would have a phone, but he can't get his phone because of the list of problems. Or he would be the one who has the phone, but no one else gets the phone. So it's really important that they set the stage, they kind of educate the siblings that, you know, this is what it is, and here's how we can help him. By you watching, we would even talk to older siblings. It's like, you know, your brother is, 2 years younger than you, and you're both in high school, but there's stuff that you can talk to your friends about that you really don't want him to be exposed to, even though he's just 2 years younger, because you guys know it's a joke, he doesn't. And you're basically throwing him into the fire. And we had some of these discussions with the older siblings, like, you guys can't talk about sisters in front of him that way, because he's just going to think this is real. You know that you're joking about it. That kind of stuff. Even, hey guys, when you're out in this competition, keep an eye on your brother, because of, you know, these types of risks or issues. So that helps, and the siblings will get to understand. But it is a family effort, and it does work, but if everyone's expectations are set properly, sometimes they need more time to get ready to go out. So if we're leaving at 5, yeah, everyone else could be ready at 4, but he needs to get ready 3:30. And his siblings have to help him with that. Like, they start to show that they're also getting ready, because he's not going to get ready until everyone else, like, you know. So it does take a little bit of preparation, but once those expectations are set, you'll find that the siblings are also more comfortable. But it's a little, you know, challenging, but if we understand these things, and the whole family needs to understand, the teachers at school, you'll be surprised, but a lot of teachers, even in public school, that are really well qualified, and they have an IEP and a psychologist on staff and a counselor, all that, sometimes they don't understand this stuff. I remember I was with an 8th grader in one of his counseling sessions with the psychologist at the high school that he's going to. And the first thing she said to him is not like, hey, how's it going, or what are you doing? It's like, now listen up. This is the rules in high school. It's very different than middle school. I'm going to be working with you, and you're going to have to listen to everything I say. I was sitting there next to him, I was like, wow, are you really a psychologist? I mean, the guy just blew up. His face literally turned red. And he was about, and I could tell his ears started to shake, and he was really stressed out. So it's important also that you work with the school teachers. Even if the student is doing academically reasonably well, like A's and B's, that you at least visit the teacher once a year at the school and talk to them and make sure they understand his or her situation. Like, okay, this is what really agitates him. If he says, I don't know, or he misses his homework, this is because of that, and here's what worked at home. But we have teachers who just been pulling their hair left and right, and it's like, we want him out of the school. Just, we'll let him pass, so, you know, because they just don't know how to deal with it. But when you know how to deal with it, they're very outgoing, very friendly. I'd see other teachers who love those kids. Like their PE teacher, their math teacher. It's like, he's a great kid. He's so creative. He's so funny, you know. And it's just because they knew how to deal with them. So when we understand these things, they're to the point. Like if you want to give them a piece of advice, don't go rambling about it. Just be specific, but choose the right time, because again, they're impulsive. So you don't want them to blow up at you, right? Don't, like, they come in and it's like, hey, I want to go out to McDonald's. And you might have made this wonderful dish at home and we spent the whole day cooking it, right? And obviously you feel insulted, like he doesn't like all of this. No, it's not that. He just likes McDonald's, it's okay, right? But don't pick the wrong time to talk about it. Because again, you don't want him to blow up in you. Do things in a certain way. Show them a lot of support and love, especially again the fathers, the brothers. They have to hug their kids. You know, they have to to kiss them. They have to show them good things. When they do good stuff at school or at home, they have to praise that. That does have a big impact. But I mean, all the kids are great, and the ADHD, they have some pros and cons. But I personally, you know, as a coach, when I deal with the ADHD kids, I feel them very entertaining. I mean, like I remember one day I was doing ruqya for one guy, and he's like, "Oh, okay, so now my head gets the blessing of your hand," or something like that. You know, it was awkward for him, like, you know, but he didn't like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He was like, "Okay, so now you get the blessing of my head," or something like that. And we were out fishing. It was like, so they always come up with ways of, you know, being funny and interactive and energetic. And if we understand that, it really works very well. So that slide is really important. I think if, as families, we focus on this and we bring it to their attention, and also when we're thinking about their career goals, we try to choose something that matches, you know, again, their skill set. And there's a lot of professions. They'd be great salespeople, great agents, great air traffic controllers. You know, they don't have to be all athletics, but there's a lot of professions that require that type of you know, brain ability. But they won't be good at a desk job. You know, it's just not their forte. They might be good with certain types, like a lot of ADHD kids, they like animals. They're very compassionate. They like animals. They could be a good vet, but they have to, of course, at school be, you know, good in math and science. So it's important that we kind of focus on those areas. Reading is important in general because it's a good skill that everyone necessarily have to have. There are ways to help them with reading, chunk, you know, the pieces down, have them use sticky notes right on the side and stuff like that, and they kind of get it. Tayyip, jazakumullah khairan. We're about on the clock. They really here are really strict with timing. But we do have our emails if there's any questions. You know, again, Aya is interning with us, inshallah, for a while. So if there's sisters that have certain types of things, we can definitely deal with that. Inshallah. Please feel free to grab, you know,